Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Iran from Outside. Today, we're going to delve into the perspectives of an Arab diplomat concerning Iran's relationships with regional and global players. This diplomat is none other than Bassam Al-Amoush, the former Jordanian ambassador to Iran. A leader of the Muslim Brotherhood, he holds a doctorate in Islamic Sharia from Saudi Arabia and is currently a university professor in Jordan. He became a member of the Jordanian parliament in 1993 and a minister in 1998. Subsequently, in 2001, he served as Jordan's ambassador to Iran for a year. However, he doesn't have fond memories of his time in Iran. He claims that the Iranian government imposed numerous restrictions on him and other Arab ambassadors, except for the Syrian ambassador, and closely monitored their activities. He emphasizes that, besides himself, the Algerian ambassador to Iran at the time also expressed dissatisfaction with these problems and limitations. Bassam Al-Amoush believes that Iran is secretly colluding with the West against the Arab world. He considers the animosity between Iran and the United States, and even Israel, to be merely media and propaganda-driven, arguing that they are actually allies working together against Arabs. In his view, the Iranian rulers, both before and after the 1979 revolution, are puppets of Westerners and colonial powers, acting to serve their interests. According to him, the only disagreement between Iran and the West is that Iran should not be a nuclear power, which is a global constraint. In all other matters, Iran and the West are aligned. Referring to Iran's missile attacks on Israel, he says that the missiles Iran fired at Israel did not kill any Jews, rather, they struck remote and insignificant areas like the Dead Sea, which were of no importance. Therefore, this missile attack should not be taken seriously. Bassam Al-Amoush provides further evidence to support his claim that Iran and the West are colluding. He says that the West fundamentally does not leave the Islamic world alone, and Westerners are constantly scheming and meddling, never leaving any area without intervening. Therefore, we cannot believe that the 1979 Iranian Revolution was anti-Western and anti-colonial in nature. Referring to the rise of Ayatollah Khomeini after the revolution, he says, "My mind cannot accept that someone who was sitting in Neauphle-le-Château on the outskirts of Paris would board an Air France plane and go to Iran and be told, 'Come and take over this country.' It is impossible that there was no prior agreement between him and the West." He believes that the 1979 Iranian Revolution was aimed at undermining the Islamic resurgence in the region in the 1970s. He says that before the 1970s, various movements such as nationalists, leftists, Nasrists, and Baathists were active in the region, but in the 1970s, all of these movements were replaced by an Islamic resurgence. However, the rise of the new rulers in Iran, by stirring up Shia-Sunni differences among Muslims, created a rift in this Islamic resurgence and led to conflict among Muslims, weakening the unity of Muslims against Western colonialists. Emphasizing that the new Iranian rulers after 1979 were essentially continuing the mission of the previous rulers in the monarchy, he said, "Of course, the current Iranian system is not exactly like the Shah's system, because the Shah's mission was to frighten the Gulf states, but the current rulers have the mission of entering the countries of the region and destroying these countries by creating religious divisions, polarization, and discord. The Shah was told to scare the Gulf states so that they would return to our embrace, and that was his only mission. But the current regime does the same things with weapons, and it is no longer just a threat, but practical actions." He assesses the policy of exporting the revolution, which was officially announced by Iranian officials after the 1979 revolution, in this context. Referring to other evidence that Iran and the United States are colluding, Bassam Al-Amoush said, "Iran and the United States colluded in the removal of Saddam Hussein and the occupation of Iraq, and the result of this occupation was that hundreds of thousands of Iraqis were killed, and the antiquities and oil of Iraq were looted, and finally, Iraq came under the control of Iran." Referring to the recent events in Syria that led to the rapid overthrow of the Bashar al-Assad regime, he said, Iran had received orders from the United States to withdraw from Syria so that that regime could be overthrown and Syria could be placed under the control of the new rulers. In his view, the rapid overthrow of Bashar al-Assad would not have been possible without the coordination and cooperation of Iran with the United States, just as Iran's entry into Syria was initially ordered by the United States. Thank you for staying with me this far in the program. If you found this information helpful, please like it. Support us by subscribing to this channel and sharing the content. Links to the material used as sources for this piece are shared in the description. A link to Bassam Al-Amoush's Wikipedia page is shared in the comments section. Until next time.